Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today I'm working on the Gnome Thin Cut card workshop. And so I wanted to just go over how to assemble your little gnome pieces, because once you get them all cut, there's quite a few pieces on here. And there are some little tips that I can help you with. So the first thing that I wanted to do is do the obvious things. So one thing, I can save myself a step. I'm just going to put the flower on the flower, and then that one's done. It does go a particular way, but if you just line up the shapes, then you're all set. Okay, so the next thing is you look at your gnome girl, and it's fairly obvious that you need to put her dress on next. And I will just say, I had a hard time deciding what should go with what and what should go with what. I just made an executive decision that every dress is going to match the umbrella. And then that was one fewer decision that I had to make. You do not need to make that exact same decision unless you want to copy what I did exactly. But I would encourage you to make your little gnome guys, your own gnome guys. But it gets tricky when you're trying to match the paper against the patterns that are already on the card, and what hat matches what dress, and it gets really interesting, I guess. Okay, so the dress goes on first. The next thing that can go on is the hat or the umbrella. So I'm just going to do the hat and then the umbrella, and then we'll be all set. So the little hat, and you can kind of see where to place it because the shapes are there. You just got to line them up a little bit. Oh, yeah, definitely. You need to put your hat on before the umbrella because the umbrella goes over the top of the hat. And so I can also put the umbrella on the umbrella because that's not going to change. Here you go. So cute. Isn't that the darlingest little umbrella you ever saw? So it looks like I can now put my umbrella shape on there because nothing... no, you know what? I prefer to put the little braids on next. So one braid goes on one side and one braid goes on the other, and you'll know because one of the braids has a little cutout for her hand and one of them does not. And obviously the top shape will guide you which side it belongs on. But see, this one has a little notch cut out, and that's because it goes right next to her little hand. And so braids go on next. Now, one thing, if you're a very, very careful observer, you'll notice, hey, wait, she has a collar and you didn't put it on. You can put this on before the braids, but let me see if I have I don't have my sample. The braid, even a one layer collar really sticks up under the braids, and I can see it and it bothers me. If it doesn't bother you, go ahead and put the little collar on before. But what I do is I take the collar and I just put a little fingernail gouge right where the braids would hit. And then I take my little scissors and then I cut off right where my gouge is. And then I can glue down her collar. Now, this is also a good technique if you forgot to put down her collar, but I did not like the lumpiness of having her collar underneath her braids. So this is my recommendation for her little collar. Okay, now we have our umbrella. And just make sure you get some glue on those little tiny, like the little umbrella handle thing, the little knobby up there, because it could get torn off if it snags on something. So then the little umbrella hand fits right in there. And then we just need her little hand. So if you look at her little hand, it has a little divot right at the top. And that's, where this part is, because the handle of the umbrella is going inside of her hand. And so you want to see, to make it more realistic, her finger, it dips as she holds the umbrella. So that's why that happens. And then we have her little flowers. And I put the flowers down before her nose because I like to put my nose up kind of high on her hat. So this way I know where the nose can go. So my flower has to go first. And then I put a foam square on her nose so that it pops up, because your nose should stick out. And then all we have left is the little feet. So I go ahead and I put the glue directly down on the feet, and then I can just drop the shoe on top of the glue. And there's 1 foot for each direction. So you have to keep those kind of straight. And then finally we have her little braids. So again, I'm just going to put a little drop of glue at the base of her little braids. And then I'm going to drop this in there. Now this has a tendency to want to kind of go back with you after you push it down. It wants to leave with your fingers. So just coax it into staying down as you're pushing it down. There you go. So that is your little gnome girl all ready to go. So thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.